Morning, traders from around the entire world. How are each and every one of you doing on this fine, terrific Monday morning? Don't worry, I won't get too excited this early. It's 8 o'clock over here in Nashville, Tennessee, and depending on where you are in the world, it could be a much different time. Type in a 1 if you can hear me okay and you can see me. We're also doing a really fun live stream on YouTube, so if you're watching this on YouTube, you feel welcome to type in a 1 in that comment section as well. All right, beautiful. Linda, what's going on? How are you? Mark, how are you? Terrence, thanks so much for being here. Jeff, Edward, welcome to the party. Carrie, thanks for being here. Avery, welcome. Deborah, welcome. Miss D. Simpson, it's a pleasure to have you back. Maria, how are you? Kristen, I love it. All right, folks. Well, we have a great morning. To fill you in, today is also something called Mentorship Monday. Mentorship Monday is where you and I work together and make sure we go a little bit slower than normal. So I do Mentorship Monday every single morning, and every single Monday. The first Monday of the trading month. That's what we do at Mentorship Monday. So this is technically the second Monday of the month. Last Monday it was going to be Mentorship Monday, but I want to change the schedule around. So next Mentorship Monday, obviously the stock market is closed next Monday, which will be July 3rd. So we're going to be doing it on July 10th. But anyway, to give you guys the idea, the first trading Monday of the month, we do Mentorship Monday, which is where we go slower. We answer questions. We focus on you. We focus on what you're trading. We focus on making sure we help each and every one of you trade as good as you can. What I want to make sure we say really quick for those who are brand new is there's a little chat pane on the bottom right hand side that says more. If you're in the chat pane, you want to click that and click attendees, all panelists. You want to click that both so everyone can kind of read your chats. Otherwise, only myself and Brad and Ashley will be able to see that. So just letting you know that's something that you want to keep an eye on. Okay, well, it's 8:03 Central Standard Time. The U.S. market opens in 26 minutes. Let's go ahead and get started into some gaps. What we're doing obviously today is we're going to be looking for some day trades. The market kind of is gapping down a little bit this morning. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull up the bar charts, gap up, gap down list. Again, I'm going to throw that in the chat pane for everybody. I'm sure you all have it. Very easy, but I'm going to throw that in there. Now, please keep in mind that there are a lot of people here. So I'm going to do my absolute best to answer any questions that I can, help facilitate learning, and create an incredible experience as best as possible. But there is zero chance I'm going to be able to look at every single gap that's happening today. We never can do that. The market has a lot of gaps each day. Our focus today, right, is to learn, to enrich lives, and to trade our plans. That's going to be the things that we're going to be focusing on. So let's get to it. These are the gap ups. So what I'm going to do is sort by volume. And again, the market's gapping down a little bit today. So we're going to go look through a few of these, not all of them. We're going to look through a few and just kind of see which ones look the most exciting. So we're going to start with GE. So all I'm doing from this chart is I'm taking the symbol, and I'm going to go put it in my charting software and look at the gap and try to determine what it is that I want it to do. So let's hop over here to GE. This is going to be a popular one, General Electric. And General Electric, there are some traders in General Electric. Let's see if there's anything specific. Looking at the news here to see if there's any kind of buyout or anything. Apple stock, no, looks good. All right, well, GE's got a nice little gap. So what type of gap is this? Right, this is the daily chart that we're looking at. So white candle gapping up. So automatically we know it's going to be a retest gap, right? White candle gapping up. And you'll notice right over here, right-hand side, you'll notice that I have the pre-market data on TradingView. So it shows me what percentage it's trading at right now. So keep in mind, the market is not open at the present moment in time, but we can still see what the stock is doing and what it's trading at, and approximately the location that it's trading at. So in this particular situation, what we're going to do is we're going to look at where it's opening. So it's opening about 29.10, which is approximately here, right about here, that red line. And what's interesting about that, this line that I'm drawing, Remember, this is just where the stock is gapping to right now, approximately. You'll notice some resistance from a few days back, right? So it's kind of gapping into a resistance. Now, if we know that there's a white candle from Friday gapping up into a resistance, we're probably expecting what? Probably expecting that it might sell off a little bit, it might retest, and we'll see how far it actually retests. But what we can definitely do is go in here now to the hourly chart. Again, we're going to keep the extended hours on. And if I'm looking at the hourly time frame, looks like a pretty good bullish move, right? Good candle right here, kind of got a pennant pattern. So it doesn't look super weak on the 15-minute time frame, or I'm sorry, the hourly time frame. Here's the 15-minute chart. So the 15-minute chart, if we were going to go bearish, you'd really have one or two situations to go bearish on this one. You have, again, that little pre-market resistance. So if we trade up into that pre-market resistance for the first 5 or 6 minutes, you waited, saw some type of reversal signal, maybe it could trade back down to that support and maybe we could bounce, right? So that drawing on the screen that you see right there, that's called planning ahead. That doesn't mean that I'm going to take the trade, but that means if we're going to, if it trades down into the support, we could look to buy there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a support line down there. All right. And I'm going to make that, I'll keep it red, sure, why not? So we got a support line there, and we got a resistance line there. I'm also going to draw the resistance line that we gapped up to. So give me just a few quick seconds. So Peter, we actually already have some real life traders in bullish on GE right now. So if they're in bullish and they're looking to sell, the stock probably does sell off, but it'll be interesting to see if that's exactly what happens. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to draw this support resistance line there. So this is a daily support and resistance line. And I think we can take this one off the list. Perfect. All right, so GE, bullish retest gap on the list. So what I often do is also write a note, GE, bullish retest gap might fade. Doesn't look that weak pre-market, but time will tell. Okay gap. Nothing amazing about it, nothing incredible, pretty average. You get these pretty often, so I'll throw that chat in the chat pane here. Okay, so simple. Just going to go to the next one. VOD, Vodafone. This is, if you remember from class 4, this is a stock that gaps all the time. Okay, also called an ADR, American Depository Receipt. So it's gapping up to 28.84. It is a bullish gap and go. It's an okay gap. But again, the stock gaps all the time. So people aren't really going to be that scared, that trapped, that afraid, or that worried. So what we're going to do at this particular point in time is go, all right, cool. I'm just going to jot that down on another list that you guys can't see on another monitor. Not that it's not special and you don't want to see it. It's just on another chart, another screen. I'm not hiding anything from you. Okay, so VOD. So I'm just jotting that one down in case stuff gets really boring, which I don't expect to happen. So we're going to look at about 2 or 3 more gap ups, and I'm going to go look at some gap downs. Mobileye, ticker symbol MBLY. Looks like it had a merger buyout acquisition recently, and it's a very, very, very small gap, so no reason to even look at that one. Bank of America, really not the most volatile stock in the world, so oftentimes it can move well, but probably not all that much. We can see, however, a nice little double bottom right here. You got a bunch of white candles in a row, and again, this one also kind of gapping to a little bit of resistance. So if you're looking at playing Bank of America, let's see, 23.73. No, it's not really gapping that far. So it's opening right about here. Move that box over here, delete that, and then draw where we're opening. So we're gapping to right about there. So it's a very small gap, only up 6 cents. So if you were looking at playing Bank of America, this would be a retest gap. So here's the 5-minute chart. And this is the 5-minute pre-market data, right? This is before the market opens. So you got a support resistance line there, and you have a support resistance line there. So if Bank of America were to break out of this resistance, how would I play this, ladies and gentlemen? If it broke out of that resistance, what would I do? Since it's a retest gap, we'd be looking for it to trade back down to that level, and then that's where you'd be looking to get in. So Bank of America, very small gap. We'll put on the on another chart over here just in case things get boring. If again anyone takes a trade, let me know. The beautiful part about the real life trading room is we implore everyone to share us, let us know what you're trading, and we've actually put it in the watch list for you. So again, our goal not to show off, not to trade our own accounts, and that's it. We're here to help each and every individual trader who is here. So our goal and objective is to help, to educate, to entertain, and enrich. So we want to help everyone trade profitably, not just us. All right, so CHK, we're gonna look at CHK. This is a popular one. It does appear that there are a few energy gaps up today, which are good. CHK, all right, so this is the daily chart on CHK. Let me just put this over here. This is a trade that we'll talk about on Wednesday, Energy Wednesday. So what you'll notice on CHK is you have a little bit of support resistance right here. Jeff says, please let us know if any of these look good for options as well. I will. You got it. We'll actually be looking at most of those in about 8 minutes. So white candle gapping up. It is a retest gap. It's gapping up to about 509. So this line that I drew here in red is a pivot. Right, it's a short-term resistance from some of these candles, and right now we're gapping up above that. So we're opening at about 509, so we're pretty much opening right on that red line. So let's come in here to the 15-minute chart. 15-minute chart again. This is the pre-market data. So this is a retest gap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw some support resistance lines. So we already have one support resistance line. Notice this blue line at $5. We already got that. So we'll see if that continues higher above there, or if it trades back down to that $5 price and bounces. So we'll throw that on the list just to see what it's doing. Mario says, your thoughts on OCUL? OCUL, what do we got? Ocular Therapeutics. It's a gap down, so we were just about to get gap downs in a second, but let's go ahead and start that right now. Why not? So the gap down today, OCUL, there's going to be a few on the list, and by a few, I mean a lot. Market's gapping down. We got a good amount to look at. Tesla's gapping a little bit, OCULR, Shopify, Budweiser gaps all the time. So yeah, OCUL, let's check it out. So this was a black candle gapping down. So what type of gap would that be? Got a good resistance right here, black candle gapping down, so retest gap, right? So we're gapping into about 1062 right now, which is right about here. Let me get my crosshair tool and verify that exactly. 1062. Yep, it's gapping. Let's see. The interesting thing about these candles is notice the two candles right here. I'll point to them with a black arrow. These two candles had the exact same low. The low of those candles are 1065 and 1065. So if we open below 1062, that should be a pretty good gap. Let's see. Where's the main support resistance on this chart that we need to break below? It's a great question. We definitely have a little bit of a support resistance here, and we're going to have a support resistance right about there. So these two lines, we got some support, we got some resistance. Gapping down, here's the candles and the arrows I'm going to point to in OCUR. So that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. So 993 is going to be a little bit of a support, a little bit of a target potentially. I also, on stocks like this, I want to look at the long-term moving averages to see what they're doing. So let's go look at those. Long-term moving averages, all right, they're pretty far away, so those shouldn't be an issue. I'll look at the weekly chart. The weekly 100 simple moving average is also at 988, so it's right around that blue level. So bottom line is we do have some support around $9.93. What I'm going to do now is hop into the 5-minute chart. 5-minute chart, we can see pre-market data, not a lot going on. Looks pretty good. I like the gap, Mario. So in this particular situation, this is a bearish retest gap. So what do you guys think? Am I going to take the breakout, yes or no? On OCULR, if this thing just starts moving, am I going to take the breakout? Nope, I'm going to wait for some type of retest. So it's going on the list. I like the gap. Let's keep an eye on it. Thanks, Mario. Appreciate it, man. High five, buddy. Okay, next on the list, let's see what else we want to look at. STM. What is STM up to? STM Rashad says, good morning. Good morning, sir. STM, a semiconductor company. This should be fun. So you had a nice lower shadow. You're gapping down. We are gapping down nicely on this one, 1578. Challenge number one, I already have the 100 simple moving averages on the screen for my last analysis, so I might as well hop over here. Rashad says, can you look at HDS and Duncan? I will do my best, my friend. I will do my best. I'll write down another list just in case. Dean says, STM can make some tiny candles. Absolutely. Very good point. So if you notice on this particular stock, it does have a few days where it moves big, but very, very few, and it also gaps a lot. So it's okay, right? Would you guys agree? It's okay. It's not amazing. It's all right. How about we just write it down another list? I like to keep the watch list pretty clean when I'm trading by myself. We have 3 more minutes, and then I'm gonna look at the broader markets and some optionable stocks. I do that every single morning when I'm on the mic. Okay, just looking through, let's go look at Shopify really quick. Shopify is on this list. It's a little bit hard to day trade sometimes because the volume can be a little bit light every now and then, but it's gapping down. The support that I see initially is this one in black. That's the support that I see. And we're gapping down to 89.45. So pretty much we're gapping down to that support level. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw that support level, and I don't know if we actually trade that or not. Maybe, maybe not. We'll have to see how it breaks lower. That's going to be tracking the Qs a little bit. Deborah says, can we look at Newmont Mining? Let me jot that one down, Deborah. I will do my best to get to all the stocks that you guys request. Just keep in mind there's almost 200 people here, so I will get to all of them. It just depends on when. All right, so Shopify, I'm going to put it on the list. And take that off. We'll see how it gaps. We'll see how it moves. Hart says, good morning, Hart. All right, so let's do this. Usually around 8:20 Central Standard Time, which is about 9:20 Eastern, I look at the broad markets and all of my optionable stocks. So optionable stocks being Apple, Tesla, Netflix, all those good ones. So let's go hop over to the broad market right now and see what she's doing. This is what I kind of drew on Friday that I would love for the market to do. I would love for the market to get a rotation down and then bounce. I don't know if that's going to happen. Friday was a huge indecision candle. Really, really big indecision candle on Friday. That means that today's gap is actually an inside candle so far. So we're not clearing any pivots, right? We're only down 29 cents, 30 cents. Yeah, so we're not really gapping up or gapping down inside any pivots. If I go in here to the hourly charts, Clarity wants to look at DCTH. All right, I'll throw that one on the list as well. DCTH. All right, so SPY. Yeah, it's gapping down. So you'll notice this is the hourly chart. For those who do trade options, it is at a little bit of a support. So you'll notice you got a little bit of a support right around here. If I was looking at playing SPY bullish, I'd probably wait for something like this, that double bottom to come in. I do like the bullish move. I think the bullish move has the most edge, but Friday was a really, really volatile day. And the good news is right now in SPY, this is pretty easy because you have a high wave candle. You have a high wave candle showing indecision. So we'll see if the SPY breaks above there. I don't think it does. I'll throw that on the list, but I don't think we're going to day trade SPY today. Here's the Qs, and the Qs are down almost 1%. So here's what I kind of drew on Friday also. I would like it to kind of rotate higher and then trade down and bounce off the 50. You'll notice we haven't actually bounced off the 50 EMA yet. Really, really nice trend, but we haven't done anything. So black candle gapping down. It would be a retest gap. Let's hop into the 5-minute chart. And this is the pre-market support resistance on the Qs. Pre-market support resistance on the Qs. So what you may or may not notice is on the Qs, we do have a little bit of pre-market support coming in here. Would you guys agree? So this is the low from Friday. And on the Qs, we're gapping into that support, and it kind of looks a little bullish, just a little bit. I don't know if we'll trade the Qs today either. You got a little bit of support resistance that looks like that. We'll keep those lines on the screen. Here's what I can say. What if the Qs trades down to this 138.30 level? Jeff, what could be done? All right, this is called planning in the future. Creating the plan, planning it in advance. What can we do at that support area? Jeff says we could buy some calls. We indeed could. Kevin says we could do a bull put spread. Sure, we could do a bull put spread. There's a lot of bullish strategies we could do, right? So at that particular support level, it will be a buy low, sell high. Will we get down there? I don't know. If we do, we can analyze some candles at that time and see what happens, but I'll throw it on the list just in case. So again, right around 820, I look at all the big picture optionable stocks like Apple, Netflix. Apple's gapping down 1.5%. So the low of Friday was 146.02. If we were going to clear any pivots on Apple, we would need to be below that low. All right, we need to get below the low if we're clearing any pivots. We're not. We're gapping to 147.15. Now we're close, but we're not opening below there. So what if we do this? What if we break through that support level? What would you look to do at that price? If we break through that support level, it's a retest gap, black candle gapping down. So you probably look to play the retest. Ah, you guys are getting this. I like it. Very, very well done. You are correct. So on Apple, let's hop in here to the 15-minute chart. And the 15-minute chart, what do you guys think? Just looking at pre-market, does it look bullish or bearish? You guys tell me. Looks a little bit more bullish. Yeah, it looks kind of double bottom-ish actually on Apple. And if I was playing the trade bullish, if I played the trade bullish, that would be called a fade. Remember, a fade is when you play the opposite direction of the gap. So it looks like a nice double bottom, close above the neckline. We've already retested the neckline. So if Apple starts making higher moves, I will throw it on the list. I think today is going to be a little bit more bullish than bearish in the market. Again, I'm not going to trade Apple out the gate. I'm going to look for it to kind of break above this resistance here that I drew in red. And if you're wondering why that price, it's because of this candle right there. And I'll draw in purple also the resistance that we got from the lows. So those are going to be the support resistance that we'll have to contend with on Apple. So should be interesting to see what happens. But again, market looks a little more bullish today, kind of across the board. So that's Apple. We also look at, again, a lot of option stocks. Netflix gapping down 1.2%. Netflix is gapping down to 156.12. So this looks like it's gapping down to the 50. By the way, this stock traded right down to the 50 and had a great buying opportunity on Friday. That was a phenomenal buy the dip opportunity, I feel like. So here in the 15-minute chart on Netflix, again, looks pretty similar. So if you'll notice, a lot of the stocks that we're looking at have some similar moves, right? Especially if they're tech related, which means I'll probably be looking for something that doesn't have the same shape as everything else. I'm going to be looking for something a little different, something else, something with a little bit more direction that's different than the broad market. Would you guys agree? Right, a lot of the tech stocks look pretty similar. Dean says Netflix put sales 147 June 23rd. Look good if you're in them. Keep me posted. Nick says, see you later, pals. Duty is calling. All right. Santi says retail stocks. Yep, retail stocks moving a little bit today, so we're going to look at some of those. So Netflix, looks okay. I don't really have any affinity on Netflix right now. Oops, I pressed the wrong button. Sorry about that. I'm going to come back in about 6 seconds. Let's see if I can get back to where I was. I'm going to look at Tesla really quick. S. Curtis says defense stocks, question mark. Well, we'll see if there's something gapping, right? That's what we're looking at today. We're going to be looking at gaps. After about the first hour, once the market starts calming down a little bit, we can easily go look at some more swing trades and some additional opportunities. But really what we're going to look at this morning is we're going to look for some gap day trading opportunities. Yeah. So just getting this pulled up. So right now I'm looking through the list of optionable stocks to see if there's any optionable day trades out there. Amazon, Google, a little bit more expensive. Huge bearish candle, phenomenal buying opportunity. I've been waiting since May the 30th to buy the bounce on Amazon, and gave a great opportunity on Friday. I don't see any day trading opportunities on it yet, but we'll keep it posted for sure. Because again, check out this 15-minute chart. What if Amazon breaks that support right there, pre-market? If we start breaking some of these supports on the tech stock, we're going to roll a little bit. We got Ashley showing me something. Carlos says GE is an interesting gap. Yep, GE is on the list. You got it. All right. So that's Amazon. Here's Google, Googl. Google. Not much happening on Google. So really, most of the optionable stocks I look at all the time aren't really doing that much. Kristen said I had to step away. Did anyone mention USO? Not yet. Not yet. Philip, what's going on, buddy? How are you? So Facebook had a good pullback. A lot of good pullbacks on Friday. Huge candles on Friday. It appears that most of these stocks will be an inside day candles. Let's go look at Macy's. Macy's was also gapping up. Macy's gapping up very, very small though. We're in a swing trade on Macy's. Very small gap, nothing to see, nothing to be fascinated about. All right, well, Steven says AMD. AMD is gapping down. This should be fun. The low of yesterday was 1163, yesterday being Friday. We're not clearing that low, but we can throw AMD on the list. AMD was a fun one. NVIDIA. NVIDIA, is it gapping below the low? No, it's not. So a lot of these stocks, ladies and gentlemen, and I've said this a few times, I'll say it again, a lot of these stocks are doing the exact same thing. So I'm looking for something that's doing something different. Tesla is doing something a little bit different. Let's throw Tesla on the list. So Tesla is actually gapping up. Very small, but it's one of the few tech stocks that is gapping up. Eventually, I expect Tesla to pull down and bounce off the 20, but we'll see what happens. All right, so knock one or two of these out the way. NEM, Newmont Mining. I think Deborah wanted to look at this one. Newmont, very small gap. It's gapping down to 33.90. Gap down to 33.90. Not really a wonderful gap. It is the good news about this one is it is gapping below this support right here. Big white candle, so we are gapping below that. NEM gaps pretty often, so we'll keep that on the other list and see what it does. We'll kind of just keep an eye on it. Market opens in a few seconds. Duncan, DNKN. Duncan had a huge gap on Friday. The low is 56.68. We need to open below that or break that low so we can put Duncan on the list just in case. Had a good gap on Friday. All right, sweet. Let's see what happens. Market is open. So again, for the first, I don't see anything that's like, oh man, I want to play this as soon as the market opens. All right, QIWI. Also got a request on that one from the YouTube live broad stream. QIWI. This is a big gap up. All right, so I'll put that on the list as well. Brad says NEM. He likes NEM. All right, sweet. That's cool. So General Electric, white candle, gapping up to a resistance, right? So big gap on General Electric. At this particular price up here, again, this is not official. I'm going to wait on this trade for about 5 to 6 minutes or so, at least. Right? I'm going to plan ahead. I'm going to dictate and tell the market what I want it to do, but it's a white candle gapping up to a resistance. So I will look to fade that potentially. Possible fade 5 to 10 minutes. Right? So this is just an example of me planning ahead. Now, if it breaks through all this support and just starts running lower, that's okay. I'm not going to chase. Right? I never chase the stock. Never chase. So I'll let the trade come back to me if I need to. But so far, it looks pretty good. Okay, CHK looks all right. This is an energy stock. This red line represents a resistance. We'll see if it can pull back and go lower. OCUL, good gap on OCUL. I'm gonna scoot that one up to the second list. Shopify and Apple. Wow, so the market just opened and just started tanking. All right, looks like we're gonna be a little bit more bearish today. I said we're gonna be going bullish, but it looks like we're breaking a lot of supports. Tesla open lower. Is this gonna be a fun bearish day? We'll see. All right. QIWI is a good gap. Dean says AVGO. I'll throw AVGO on the list. Okay, so it looks like a kind of a fun day out there already. We're gonna have to see how, again, it's only been 2 minutes, so I'm waiting. I haven't traded anything yet. Looking through some stocks, so Dunking does look like it's gonna continue a little bit lower. So I like OCUL and I like GE. Look at that nice lower shadow. A lot of buying pressure on OCUL, so that's why I'm waiting a few minutes. That is reason number one. Santi says the oil stocks are up. Yep, they do appear so. So again, I say 5 to 10 minutes, right? So this is me telling the market what I want it to do. So I want it to kind of close, show a little bit of strength on the bearish move. So this is going to update in a moment, and we'll be able to see. Let's see if anyone else is saying anything on Slack. Nope, not yet. So this is our social media Slack channel that you guys will get access to for those of you who decide to join the floor in the future. A lot of traders on here commenting a lot of stuff every single day, so you'll start getting some chatter on that momentarily. Lawrence says nice retest gap on PayPal. All right, let's go look at PayPal. PayPal, ooh, that is a good gap. I agree. One of the few stocks that opened below the low on Friday. I like that. Good call. Thank you. 5-minute chart going down probably to the 20. So notice how this broke a pre-market support really nicely. So what I'm going to do on this one is I actually will set this trade up. I'll go a little bit slower than normal, but this is going to be the stop, and I'm going to look to short it off of the pre-market low as a retest. It is a retest gap. I'm going to type in the chat pane, PayPal, $52.66, limit sell with a stop loss at 53.21. All right, that's in the chat pane. That is also, I'm going to post that in Slack. So it's going to look like that, 52.66 limit sell by 53.21. So in this situation, I'm looking for it to literally come back up to 52.26, and then we'll short it. Will that trigger? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I'm not sure. It may, or it may not. Beautiful part is we know why we're doing it. We know where we're doing it. Now, again, if you're not comfortable with the trade, if you don't know how to set stops, if you don't know how to short, if you don't know where to put the stops, if you don't know how to submit this into your broker, you by no means have to do this trade. It can just easily be a learning experience. I had no idea if the trade will work or not. You never do, but I know why I'm taking it. I know where I'm taking it, and I got the plan set up, so that's what's most important. All right, I'm also going to fill this into the worksheet now. And for those of you who, again, in the future, if you decide to access the trading rooms, we'll give access to this worksheet for you. This is simply where we track our trades, and they do update in real time. All right, perfect. So we'll see if it sells. I'm going to leave that trade open for maybe 10 minutes. All right, so GE. Now notice, ladies and gentlemen, you remember how I wanted to wait? This is why I wanted to wait. It's a very strong trend. Very strong trend on GE. Even though it's out of resistance, I want to give it some time to see if the sellers actually were serious. Doesn't look like they are, at least not yet. That's why I wanted to wait 5 to 10 minutes. I don't always wait 5 to 10 minutes, but in certain situations, in certain cases, it's often better just to make sure the stock wants to roll down, because there's not anything superbly bearish about General Electric. It is a retest gap. So we'll just kind of keep track of it, wait and see what it does. But again, right now, no trade on GE. OCUL, look at that. Man, type in a 1 if you waited on that stock. How would we have known to wait, I wonder? Because it was a retest gap on the daily chart. Right, here's the daily chart, black candle gapping down. It was a retest gap. That's why we're waiting. QIWI, pretty good bullish gap. Thank you for whoever requested that on the YouTube stream. And Ashley, thanks for your help. I appreciate it. She left me hanging there. Let's go look at NEM. A few of you are chatting about that one. So Deborah, your NEM might be one worth watching. It's doing kind of what I thought it would do. It's just gapping down and kind of bouncing again. Most NEM is pretty prolifically sideways right now. If I draw a arrow, it's pretty sideways. I would have loved if it was gapping above here, right, Deb? That would be a much, much better gap. I would have really liked that, but it's not. So Gene is in a 31.29 bull put spread. So far, Gene looking good. Back over to Tesla. Nice little lower shadow. I like that. Oh, yeah. All right, folks, you ready to see an example of, again, planning ahead? Here it is. Here's me, and this is what we do in the real life trading room every day. This is not just because you were here and it's a free week. We do this Monday through Friday. What I'm about to do is I'm gonna outline, call it hashtag Mr. Squiggles. I'm gonna outline on Tesla what I want the stock to do. I want it to break above resistance. Can anyone guess what I want it to do after that? Can anybody guess? I want it to retest and I want it to bounce. So I'm gonna draw that right there. I like that resistance level. If we break above, I will look to do a option trade on a pullback. Perfect. Okay, CHK does look a little bit bullish right here, actually. Let me look at the daily chart. So you have a decent gap on CHK. I do want it to go higher. You got some moving averages that could act as a target. Isn't it kind of a little bit of a downtrend? But let me go on a 5-minute chart. 5-minute chart. So we're definitely getting some volume. We have retested. So remember, I missed this trade. I'm not. Well, remember, anyway. It closed above resistance. Has it already retested? And the answer is yes. It's actually already retested that old resistance, new support. You can see that from this long lower shadow. So really at this point, what I'll need this thing to trade sideways if I'm going to trade it or pull back at some point. So the SPY is looking interesting. The Qs. So the Qs, that would have actually been a very fast option trade if you played that, Jeff. That trade would have been about a 30% return on an option in about 8 minutes. All right. Apple down 4%. Good grief. Oh, it did open below the low. Oh, no. Oh, no, it opened below the low. Oh, boy, today's going to get fun. I thought it was going to be bullish, but, man, with Apple opening below that low, it's not. So PayPal. Good try, boys and girls. Good try. Does look like we missed it, which is okay. I miss a lot of trades often, right? Totally fine. But the beautiful part is if you traded it on a shorter time frame, ladies and gentlemen, type in a 3 if you see the retest. Type in a 3. I didn't play the 1-minute chart. I know there's a lot of people here, and so I'm not going to play a trade that aggressively, especially with so many traders who are brand new. I want to show you that you can be a little bit slower, and that's okay. But you'll notice that we did explain in advance, a few minutes in advance, actually, what we were doing, why we were doing it, things like that. So we got close to retesting. It did retest. We missed a trade by about 20 cents. It just didn't quite get there. So PayPal, we're going to have to cancel PayPal. Cancel PayPal. All right, I'm going to go tell everybody in Slack. So what I'm doing right now is I'm text notifying everyone in our channel. Type in a 3 if you would like to get text alerts from our day trades, what we're doing, what we're getting in, that kind of thing. That's what we're doing right here in this is we are chatting with everyone who subscribes, and they're knowing in their phone what we're doing. So PayPal, we missed it, folks. Sorry, it's going to happen. Pretty much every single day you're going to miss some trades, so don't get stressed out about that. It's better to miss a trade and not lose money than chase a trade and lose money. So what are we going to do here on Apple? That's a great question. So this Apple has a beautiful support. Man, that was a good gap. These tech stocks, remember I said I thought we were going to go bullish in the early morning, but about 8 seconds after the market opened, I'm sorry, 8 seconds before the market opened, they opened lower, breaking that support. So let me see if I can play this Apple trade right here. I wonder what type of option that would be. Give me a second, let me find out. This would probably be a put. Well, not probably, it would be a put. So this would be a limit buy. Let me go look at some of these options over here. If you're wondering, Jeremy, do you guys trade weekly options often? Yes, we do. So let me look at this June 16. That will be expiring this week. Was that 145 put option? They're a little pricey right now. A little pricey. All right, let me hop over to my other chart looking at the option pricing tool. That'd be approximately, give me a second, let me look at that, approximately $2.50. $2.50, June 135 put, and that stop would be approximately $1.50, so we'll be risking $1 pretty much. Am I going to make that official? Not yet. What do I need to see? A few more candles to close, but the option prices are high. A lot of volatility out there in the market, which is good. Lily says, morning, Jer. Morning, Lily. Welcome back to the fold. All right, perfect. So again, keep in mind, there's a lot of people chatting in the chat pane as well, and that happens often. There's a lot more people here than normal, by the way, so it's usually not quite this busy. Microsoft trading down to the 50. I don't know what all these lines are. Oh yeah, I was helping a trader out with those. I remember that. Okay, so the 50 EMA might be a little bit of a support, probably will. Again, it didn't really clear any pivots. So I'm looking for gaps that cleared a pivot. Apple was one of them. Disney bouncing bullish a little bit, not shocking. Very, very nice off the 200 simple on the daily chart. So Disney looks a little bit different than the market, right? Disney's actually up. So I'm looking for something that looks different, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to keep saying that. The reason that's important to say is simply because if you trade something and it looks like everything else, well, it's going to trade like everything else, but sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Usually it's bad. All right. So if you want, again, my encouragement is if you're looking at a trade, Maritzia or Lauren or Brian, feel free to post those trade setups into the chat pane, right? Because again, there's a lot of traders who are interested to know what people are looking at. So if you want to type in what price you're looking at, you can type in your chart. There's a lot of things you can type into. We'll be happy to look over them. AVGO, the reason I like this one, black candle gapping down below that wick. Again, I like that. Let me see these moving averages. Plenty of room. Okay, so AVGO. This is the 15-minute chart. The reason I'm looking at the 15-minute chart, I wanted to see where this pre-market support is. Looks like Dean is already in AVGO. All right, cool. Oh boy, we got a big old retest on that one. So AVGO, a little bit of an expensive stock, so the bid-ask spread will be there. So how about we try something like this? A little more conservative, I agree. But today is Mentorship Monday. So remember, today is all about let's ask any questions. That's what today is designed for. If you think I'm going fast, that's totally fine, but I'm actually going pretty slow. Slower than usual anyway. So GE, Tesla, and there's so many stocks we can have on the list. Amazon broke that support that I talked about before the market even opened. And so again, keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. There's zero chance I can trade everything, and I always repeat that just so that traders feel comfortable in knowing that I'm going to be very specific when I trade something. But this watch list, a lot of this is for you. So if you are in something, if you're trading something, let us know. But remember, never chase a trade. If you get excited, if you feel like you're missing out on something, if you're like, oh man, there's so much happening, it's moving too quickly, what are you doing? You're trading in the present. Go ahead and think, what's going to happen 10 minutes from now? What's going on? Huh? Yes, ma'am. All right. So PayPal is retesting. We've canceled our PayPal trade. AVGO. So it looks like the whole market is retesting right now. So the question is, will this retest on the whole market roll over or not? So notice Tesla has not broken above my resistance yet. So I don't have a trade on Tesla at the present moment in time. Apple is a maybe. Big maybe on Apple. It's already down 3.5%. That is huge. What a great gap too. Where's the 100 simple on Apple? Oh yeah. We're going to get down there today. This is a good buying opportunity on Apple. Long term. Brad says, Rick, good call on SPLK. Oh man, what's happening on SPLK? SPLK, that's a very pretty gap. Look how small it is. It's right below that wick. So here's your support on the daily chart, that purple line, and it just gapped right below the low of that wick. So we have a pretty nice, healthy watch list as of now. There's a lot of them, I agree. There's a lot of stocks out there. So remember, we're going to try to trade one. I want to try to make an R today. If I can make an R, that'd be great. This is a retest gap. Looks like we got a retest right there, that shooting star candle. VWAP is at 56.45, the volume weighted average price. That's where I was going to short anyway. So 2 minutes from now, I want to see how this candle closes on SPLK, right? I'm always telling the market what I want it to do, not the other way around. I'm not afraid if I'm going to lose or win. The chances are I'll probably lose. But I'm going to set this trade up and I'm going to get it ready. And I will only submit the order if the trade closes, if this candle closes like this, 56.49 by 57.74. Filbert says, is this webinar recorded? It is going on live stream, yes. Yes, sir. So we are recording it. All right, SPLK 56.49 limit sell by 57.74. Again, just as a reminder, I want this candle to close. So 2 minutes from now, it's going to feel like a forever, but I tell the market what I want it to do. I don't care about missing trades, folks. We miss trades all the time. All the time. Every day. All day. Luis says GTXI. All right, let me throw that on another list. We've got a nice list right now. There's a lot of gaps, folks. I know there's a lot of excitement. This is a great day to have Mentorship Monday, right? Guru said in tutorials, you say that sometimes you wait for 6 minutes on 6 candles on 5-minute charts. So what is your criteria for that? You wait for 6 candles on 5-minute charts. So that will be 30 minutes, right? So the market's been open about 20 minutes. So for a retest gap, I say the majority of my trades, yep, I'm going to wait about 30 minutes. The majority of my trades. Maurizio said, so we can ask questions, right? You are correct. Jonathan says GE is rolling over. It's on the list. Looks like we're going to close below that price. So let's see if we get a retest on SPLK. Okay, SPLK 56.49 limit sell by 57.74. So I'm just going to replace this. SPLK 56.49 by 57.74. Put that in the worksheet. Let me go ahead and get a copy of this chart. Now I'm going to leave this trade open for about 10 minutes. Perfect. Rashad says QIWI is setting up for a long. It's definitely on the list. It was a pretty good gap. Let's go look at QIWI. It does had a bullish gap on it for sure. Yes. Nice high wave candle. If you're looking at playing it, Rashad, I think the long is the way to play it. I like that high wave candle. You'll notice it did pull back to the 10 EMA on the 5-minute chart, which is pretty much where you'd be looking to play it bullish. Entry would be there. right above the high of that candle. Stop will be the low of that candle. Maritza says when RSI is inflecting below the oversold zone, it would be safe trading short put at open on the hourly time frame. When RSI is inflecting below oversold zone, it would be safe trading a short put at opening. Oversold, I guess, is what you're saying. If it's gapping to a resistance, sure. It's all about what the stock is doing and how it's moving, right? That's what's key. I don't really look at RSI that much, but if RSI is into the oversold zone and the stock is at a resistance and you want to make money as the stock is going down, then yep, puts are the way to play it. Great question. Carlos wants to look at Starbucks, SBUX. Starbucks, what is Starbucks doing? Nice gap down to the 50. Looks like this might have already traded to a target. Again, folks, looks like there's just blood in the streets right now. So let's be calm, let's be patient. Don't chase anything. Remember, remind yourself that. Do not chase. Do not chase anything. But Starbucks is down to the 50 EMA right now. All right, so SPLK, you might have missed this one as well. And this is okay. This was a really good setup. I was about 2 minutes too late. But you had a nice shooting star candle right on the 10 EMA on the 5-minute chart. That was the retest right there. Boom, boom. Thank you very much. Call your mom. Let's party. So that was SPLK. We missed that trade, so we missed 2 trades. And again, folks, we're going to miss trades all the time. It's better to know why you're trading something, where you're trading it, and then if you miss the trade, cool. Cheryl said the SPLK monthly 50 exponential moving average is 55.17. Would that affect the day trading? That would actually be target number 1. Cheryl, great question. That'd be a great place to exit at that particular price. So if we got triggered in on this trade, 55.17 would be right at 1R anyway. Mauricio says we missed Netflix. Oh, we missed a lot. There's a lot going on right now. Pretty much impossible to trade everything. Remember, folks, you can't trade all of it. You're going to look for 1R as a day trader. An R a day keeps the bill collector at bay. PayPal was a really nice trade. It was a great short. QIO looks pretty good. AVGO is still a maybe. Still a maybe. General Electric, it did end up failing that resistance level. If I was shorting Jonathan General Electric, I would probably look for a retest into old resistance, new support, something like that. Let's go look at STM. We were looking at this earlier this morning. What's STM doing? So STM looks like it's already trading lower into the 100. Man, wow, we got some good gaps today. HDS. Steve said, should we be helping you find the retest on the 1 minute? No, I'm not going to be playing the 1 minute, Steve, very much in the open house week. There's a lot of traders. I mean, hundreds of traders in the room right now, and trading the 1 minute is going to be too fast for most people. That's what a lot of trading rooms do, Steve. They trade the 1 minute, but the only people who catch those trades are the instructors, and then everyone else feels like they're missing out, and then they hop in and they lose money. So my main goal is not really to make money in front of you guys. My goal and objective is to make sure you understand where to get in and why. HDS, someone requested HDS earlier this morning. It's an inside candle. Didn't really gap. With all the great gaps today, I think we can leave HDS alone. Coming back over here to Newmont, same thing. I think we can leave Newmont Mining alone. DCTH, someone else requested that one. DCTH also didn't really gap. So it's an inside candle from yesterday. Didn't clear any pivots. GTXI, so this one's popular. GTXI, not a lot of volume on this one. This is what I was referring to as a low float. White candle gapping up, trading really quickly into some resistance. I don't think I would short this one personally. It's a biotech medical research company that's up 50%. Those things can keep screaming. Although it did hit the 100 previously in rollover, so it could happen again. But based on the low volume of that stock, I wouldn't personally look to short that one. But I can keep it on the list just to watch it. So a lot of you are looking at Amazon. Yep, Amazon's interesting right now. There's a lot happening on Amazon. So here's the 5-minute candle. What I can say is if Amazon keeps trading sideways, this bloodbath can easily continue. Let's see if it bounces from down here or breaks lower. Let's see if it breaks lower or bounces. Because again, I mean, the market selling off this quickly is a good thing, I feel like. Marissa says Amazon could pull down to 927. It indeed could. All right, SPLK, what do you guys think? Should we cancel or leave it open? I think we should probably, let's cancel that trade. Marissa says, but option prices are too high. Yes, they are. So if they're too high for your account, just take it off the watch list. Right? Honestly, folks, if you can't trade a particular stock or option, there's no reason to really pay that much attention to it. I mean, you can trade it and practice from it, but really your objective at the end of the day is to make money. So if you can't invest in something because the option prices are too high, notice I don't even have Google on this list. I have Amazon because a lot of you are asking about it, but I'm personally not going to trade Amazon or Google today. I'm like 98% certain, unless I trade them maybe with shares, because their option prices are insane. They're really expensive. Okay, going to cancel the official trade on SPLK. Good try, team. Good try, good try. Jesse said taking off SPLK because shooting star reversal. Taking off SPLK. No, honestly, Jesse, we're taking off because we just missed it. So this was the retest right here, that 5 minutes ago. And we got close, it just didn't fill. So if it breaks the low of this candle, it probably just will keep running. Now, I'm not taking off the watch list. I'm just going to cancel the trade setup and see if we can end up taking another trade in maybe 10 minutes or something. So we'll keep watching it. There's a lot of good things out there. PayPal had a fun move. QIWI trying to bounce. Luke says, first time in the trading room, my head's spinning. Everything's going so fast. I know. And we're actually going pretty slow also. We're going pretty slow. Again, ladies and gentlemen, it's Mentorship Monday. So if you have any questions, you just simply let me know. Mauricio says, Netflix is bouncing. Is it the real bounce? Oh, well, let's see if it's at a good support. I think yes. I think Netflix pulling into the 100 is a great buying opportunity. I think that is a real bounce. In fact, there's so many trades right now you could consider on Netflix, both long-term, short-term options, credit spreads. I love it off that 100 simple. That is a great, great move. Let me look at this for a July, maybe a credit spread. 130, 125. Oh, man. There is a lot of premium on Netflix, my friends, for a bull put spread. For my credit spread fans. 130, 125. So you're looking for 50 cents. You could probably get, what was that, $1? Let's say $1.20, and you could sell the 130 for about $1.80. So it's 50 cents. You get a 10% return for July, 20 points away. Tim says, is this the TradingView platform? It is indeed. Luis says, reminder, FOMC meeting is this week. Thank you, Luis, for that reminder. So I really like that pullback on Netflix. It is at the 100 simple. Let's throw Netflix on the list because that could be a great buying opportunity. I mean, guys, this is a really, really quick pullback in the tech market. 2 days, and we're down like 10% on a lot of tech stocks. This is a phenomenal buy the bounce opportunity out there in the markets, I feel like. Let me give this 3 minutes or so. What time is it? 9 o'clock. So I need this new 5-minute candle to close. I need this new candle to close because, again, I'm looking for, what type of pattern would you imagine I'm looking for, folks? I'm looking for a morning star, exactly. So if it breaks above and just starts running without us, I'll see if we can buy it on a pullback. But again, I'm not going to chase the trade. I tell the market what I want it to do, and if it doesn't listen to me, that's fine. I think some of these markets are about to bounce, folks. I don't know. I mean, that's a really quick pullback. AMD, let's see, Duncan's continuing a little bit lower. Teb says, I bought AMD. All right, Teb, I'll keep an eye on it for you. Duncan could be a nice little low of the day break right there. I think Steven was asking about Apple. Again, folks, if I skip over your question or comment, it's not by intention. Steven, what does he say? I had to step away for a minute. Are you considering Apple low of the day break? Maybe. Right now, I'm actually considering if it's going to retest this pre-market support and roll over, because the 100 simple moving average is at 140.50. This would be an amazing pullback on Apple, and I think a relatively decent buying opportunity. So SPLK. So again, I'm watching. We're waiting SPLK. We canceled our official trade on it. Netflix looks good. I'm going to give Netflix about 3 more minutes. Looks like we're going to start getting some bounces. So again, if you played something bearish, the first 30 minutes was the way to go. Right now, we'll see. GE did roll over. So keep in mind, I did not play GE, but it did actually end up selling. So that would have, my initial analysis this morning would have, I think, kept most traders out of this trade. I believe anyway. Pretty incredible that 1 hour has already gone by, right, ladies and gentlemen? Is that an amazing thing? The market's already moved, and we've already been doing this an hour. Wow. Fastest hour on the planet. Give me about 77 seconds. I'm going to attempt here to end the YouTube live stream and then restart it later. Because I want to record the first hour of today's session, and I think the YouTube live stream is going to do that for me automatically. So let's find out. We'll do that later this afternoon. Post what links? You can definitely post the links to the trigger room. That's totally fine. Anyone who has the links, you are more than welcome to share the links to anyone and everyone by all means. Sarah said, which trading charting platform are you using? I'm looking at TradingView is what I'm charting with. Thinkorswim is what I trade with. All right, how do I end the stream? Sorry, stop.